Really, there wasn't any time in my mission where I felt unsafe. There were the governments there are, they're doing well. I think they haven't seen any rebellion for many years, and so most of the time things were just very very normal. I never felt like I was in danger. I'd say probably the the time that I probably suffered the most as far as feeling safe maybe was when I got sick, because they do have some diseases over there that are not as common here in America, such as malaria and typhoid. Malaria there is a pretty common sickness. Like it seems like here when people get sick and they're out for a few days, it's because they have the flu or a cold or something like that. There, it's malaria. They're out of commission for a couple of days, and it's because they had malaria. But anti-malarial medicine is very common over there. You can buy it at any drugstore, just like you could buy cough medicine here. So as long as if you catch the symptoms of malaria on time, which is really not that hard, they teach you how to recognize it. And if you get malaria, then you can treat it, and then it's really not that big a deal. But the mission does provide anti-malarial medicine, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about it if you're taking that anti-malarial medicine. They give it to you. They make sure you always have plenty of it, and so you take your anti-malarial medicine, and then you'll stay away from malaria. Malaria is a disease that's passed by mosquitoes, and they tell you that it's a particular type of mosquito that usually comes out at night. And so yeah, you'll get mosquito bites, but as long as you're taking that anti-malarial medicine, you should be fine. I did, however, to get malaria a couple times because I wasn't taking my medicine, and it was painful. It was not a good experience, but it was but I was never worried that I was gonna die or anything like that. It was just one of the experiences that that can happen in Africa.
Relating to safety and money and traveling, we were told a lot of people carried multiple wallets on them. We were told to always carry at least 20 Rand on our person. Rand is the currency there, to give to somebody in case you're mugged, and that's not a bad idea. Keep it maybe in a separate pocket, or keep a separate wallet with 20 bucks in it, not really anything else important, maybe some business cards so it looks legit, and that way you have something to give the person so they don't search you more or do something worse. As far as driving and traveling, American money, we were also told to keep $200, I think, on stashed away, 200 Rand, and also a certain amount of American money. American money is super good in case you have to leave the country. It's pretty much good anywhere. And so we always had a stash of a few hundred Rand and a little bit of American dollars as well in case we had to leave. Other than that, the freeways and stuff are pretty close to here, other than driving on the opposite side of the road. That was super weird at first. But I guess the other thing I can say is watch out for pedestrians. Here it's a lot more controlled access on the freeways and on main roads. There, sometimes people will wander out in front of you, in the middle of the night. Well, we didn't drive in the middle of the night, but in late hours of the evening. And so you have to be super careful of that.
There's a lot of crime in the mission and in South Africa, but if you're smart about it, you can be very safe, and missionaries can be protected. So as far as being smart in South Africa, the mission has it set up in a way that we're very safe, where we're staying in towns, we're not staying in areas where there's more crime, and we're in cars for the most part, so you're not walking around in kind of dangerous areas at night. And that's something that you can be smart about as a missionary, is kind of knowing where the more dangerous areas are, and if you are walking, staying away from those areas, very simply. Or if you're teaching in those areas, kind of going alternate routes to certain houses, or walking with a native who knows the area and kind of knows where crime is and things like that. Natives can be very helpful members who are in the areas. Yeah, so really if you do those things, crime isn't too bad. And the other thing is, if you get in a situation where that could be harmful, maybe where you're getting robbed or something, for the most part, people are not going to hurt you. They see you as a white person from America. They associate the church maybe with America, and they think that you have money and wealth. And so they just want that from you. And so we're advised to just cooperate when you get into a situation where you're getting robbed, and give them what they want, and then they usually won't harm you or hurt you. But if you retaliate in any way, then that could turn into a harmful situation. So other than that, it's a pretty safe place in general if you're smart about it. I never got robbed or had a terrible experience. There were a lot of missionaries who did. The first area I was serving in, right after I left, the missionaries in that area got their car hijacked at gunpoint, and in that situation, I don't know if there was much they could have done to avoid it. They were actually at a zone leader's house I can't remember if they were getting something from the zone leaders. I had to talk to them, and kind of all the missionaries were sitting outside the house, a few different companionships, and some people drove up and hijacked the car at gunpoint. Didn't harm the missionaries at all. And we actually ended up finding that car, I think it was about a year and a half later. The mission found the car like 6 hours away from where it was actually hijacked. So like 5 hours away. So that was kind of cool. And then some apartments, another common thing is apartments will get robbed. We'll have break-ins, and I heard of that happening a lot, most of the time at night, and they never harmed the missionaries or when the missionaries were gone during the day. I don't remember any stories of missionaries getting seriously hurt, so